Put it on, girl. Let me see it. Put it on, girl. Let me see it.
Welcome to Accidentally Informed, where
we always got the piping hot tea, because this past week has been insane.
It really has. And speaking of insane and piping hot, you are in my favorite place. I wish I was there. You were gone last week, and now you're in Aruba, so you're on like a whole world tour.
Yes. So just inside baseball for our informers, we're actually renovating our home, and it's just better not to be there during that time. So we got to go to Atlanta. We did a couples retreat with Spirit, who Dr. Spirit was on our show. And then we went to see our friends in Miami, and now we're in Aruba. So it's great. It's great.
Yeah. You are my shiro. Like, that is some rich people shit. Like, not only are you renovating your home, which is like, that's taxing on the wallet. Okay. Then you're like, we don't want to be around dust. So we're going to go to Miami and then Aruba. And then, I don't know, maybe Paris. I love it. I love that. I love the soft life. When I see any sisters experience a soft life, I'm like, I tilt my hat.
Well, I appreciate that, because I think that we're just in a time and a climate where, you know, people want to keep things like, and I'm generally close to the vest about a lot of things. I realize that everybody has different circumstances, but I feel like there's been this push lately, particularly with women of color, to be a little bit more loud and showing that there's a lot of different ways that we live. And I think that it's inspiring to a lot of people. And I think that it holds a lot of promise. So I'm just going with it. I know you're like, oh, she's living the soft life. And I'm like, and then I'm like, you know what? Okay. So
yeah, I feel like there's a natural, like reaction that is to like make myself small. No, girl. No, Yes, Claudia. Yes, I was in Miami last week, and now I'm in Aruba, and I'll get home when the renovations are done. I love that. What I was thinking about this, like, we work so hard, right? Not just us, but our viewers, people that are watching, people clock in, whatever your job is. Like, life should not just be about working just to like maintain or just working to survive. Like, you have to get to a point where like you're living. You know, and it's okay to celebrate that. Like, why do we work hard to like play humble and act like it didn't really happen and we didn't not enjoy the fruits of our hard work? You earned it.
I appreciate that. And also, I want to give a shout out to Portia Coleman. Obviously, I got to spend time with her for your party in Vegas. Y'all did such a great job last week. I love seeing your friends, like your long-term friendships, and how, like, when Annie was on and how y'all communicate and with the show, it brings so much to the show. So thank you to Portia for coming on. And it was amazing. I'm glad to be back.
Oh, we are glad to have you back as well. And thank you to Portia and Annie. So how are you enjoying Aruba? Do you love it? Like, on a scale of one, well, you haven't been in the ocean yet, right?
Yeah. Well, no, we were in the ocean today.
Was it warm? Was it
water?
Warm, right?
Oh my gosh. I mean, amazing. Just to be able to see, I've never been to Aruba before. So like how clear the water is. And it's so calm and beautiful. The people are amazing. And informers, Claudia gave me like not only an itinerary, she sent me an itinerary of all the things I need to do with video and photos of what it'll be like when I do it. So I'm like, okay, we're good. We are good for this time that we're spending here.
I really hope I know you like to like relax and you deserve it, but the ATV ride, so Aruba is a desert island. It's really rocky and like volcanic, like the rocks are really sharp. The ATV tour takes you on a ride, and you see that they used to like refine gold and all kind of stuff there back in the day. There's this like natural bridge that you go take pictures by. Then they take you on this, like, you get off your bikes and you walk to this like little cliff and you jump into this, like, I don't know, it's like a little cave. The picture I showed you where I'm like laying back in the water, and it's so beautiful. And it's like, you have to experience that and just have your man take a video of you when you jump and vice versa. Wacky Wahoo's is the best restaurant, I think, in Aruba. Gianni's is a great upscale Italian restaurant. The food is, chef's kiss. And I'm very particular about my Italian food, but the vibes are good. There's like zero crime there. And it's just like, you don't see any seaweed in the water. It's like clean. There's no rock. It's really amazing. So.
It's so awesome. Thank you for our list, because I was like, oh, we're going to be busy.
Yeah. And you got a glow. So it looks like you're having a good time.
I am.
All right, now let's get into it. We've got a lot to get into today, from Kimmel's return to late night, to Kamala spilling the tea, to Cardi B's divorce and baby daddy drama. There's so much more to talk about, so let's just get started. Now, after having his show suspended over a comment he made about Trump supporters and Charlie Kirk's death, Jimmy Kimmel returned to the airwaves last night, and he didn't hold back. Take a look.
Should the government be allowed to regulate which podcasts the cell phone companies and Wi-Fi providers are allowed to let you download to make sure they serve the public interest? You think that sounds crazy? No! 10 years ago, this sounded crazy. Brendan Carr, the chairman of the FCC, telling an American company, we can do this the easy way or the hard way, and that these companies can find ways to change conduct and take action on Kimmel, or there's going to be additional work for the FCC ahead, in addition to being a direct violation of the First Amendment, is not a particularly intelligent threat to make in public.
Okay. What do you think? Is this the moment that Jimmy Kimmel becomes untouchable? Because the ratings, I think the ratings were through the roof. I know the YouTube channel, our producer Megan mentioned that it usually gets a couple 100,000 views. We're at 11 million.
Yeah. There's so much interest in this. And honestly, I feel like this not only needed to happen, I think that it's happening in a universal order, because more attention needs to be placed on what is happening in media, particularly broadcast media. For those of you who don't know, companies have been allowed to purchase assets within the same state or market, or city, I should say, market of something, an asset or property that they already own. So what's happening is companies like Nexstar have been given the green light to purchase companies like Tegna, which is the station or the company I used to work for. Mm-hmm. And now in these markets, everyone's being told, these are journalists, that essentially their jobs are going to be consolidated. So you're competing within the market for your job. Why is this important? It's important because that means that there is becoming this basically state television. What's happening here is that the government is starting to, or has been just more prominently at this point, controlling what you're seeing, controlling the voices that you are hearing. There is no mistake about the fact that look at all of the panel talk shows that used to be on broadcast media, and look how many are actually left. That is not a coincidence.
At all.
That is actually something that has been happening behind the scenes for quite some time. So what Trump effectively did by bringing so much attention to this Jimmy Kimmel situation is wake people up. Do you want to live in a country that touts we have First Amendment freedom of speech, but anytime someone goes to say something that the government doesn't like, they can be removed? My next look is here. What is going on with YouTube? Because that is one of the final bastions in terms of digital media that a content creator, a journalist, whatever you're doing to get your work out there, is able to really take control of to a certain degree, but say, this is what I'm putting out in real time. Whereas all of these other assets for broadcast, I mean, it's a wrap at this point.
Look what they've done with media, to piggyback on what you're saying. Melissa Perry Harris, I believe that was her name. Melissa, she was taken off of MSNBC. Then they messed with Tiffany Cross. They took her off of MSNBC. Then Joy Reid, who was very critical of the Trump administration, but she was very much on point. Her ratings were about a 1.2, 1.3 million viewers a night. And Rachel Maddow was at 2 million viewers a night. Rachel Maddow was getting $30 million a year, and Joy Reid was getting $3 million a year. And then they took her off. They snatched her off the air. Don Lemon got him off of CNN. Like, it's been happening. A lot of these stations that you think are left-leaning, they're owned by right-wing billionaires. CNN's new owner is a right-wing person. It's like really fake, right? And CNN is like Fox News Light. I did a show. You did a show with Tag. I did a show with Sinclair was our syndicator, and it was a show with a predominantly Black cast. It was 2 of us, and I was like, wow, like we're on this. They put us in 20 markets. They put us in the most C and D level markets where there's a very small population of Black people. We were like set up to fail. Like if they put a Black show in Pensacola, Florida, or a place where the population of Black people is very, very small and it's not really marketed well, we're not going to hit the numbers, and they're going to say, sorry, we tried, but and then Sinclair is known for giving messaging to their journalists, their TV hosts, their newscasters. There's this thing that went around where every single one of the hosts, the anchors on their stations, their news stations, I think they were told they had to do 2 positive Trump stories a day, and they all had a script to follow. So it's a lot of it is BS. So people getting indoctrinated with stuff that is on purpose. Like it's not really a lot of independent journalism. It's really sad that they're doing this. But Jimmy Kimmel rose, okay? And Brandon Carr, the head of the FCC, should be ashamed of himself. He's acting like a mafia boss, and it's really embarrassing because I just want these people to know, as much as they think Trump's going to find a way to become president in 2028, and this is going to last forever, he's not immune to mortality. There will be an end to this. And we're young enough that we're going to be around for a while afterwards. Mm-hmm. And there will be a reckoning. There will be trials. There will be people brought up on charges for violating the Constitution. There will be lawsuits. There will be a price to pay for all of this. So enjoy this time you have now, but there will be a reckoning. I don't know why they think this is going to happen for the rest of our lives. It's not. Trump will not live forever, and neither will Trumpism. It will not, because people are tired. And we saw the resistance to what happened with Jimmy Kimmel. And overnight, allegedly, $3.4 billion of value. I don't know if that was confirmed from the Disney Corporation. Everyone was canceling their Hulu subscriptions, their Disney, ABC. People were not playing. They crashed the site. So, there is power with the people. So we have the power to bankrupt all these companies, you guys. We really.
Yeah. I think you bring up an interesting point about the Trump era. Trumpism isn't going to last forever, but that's the whole point. It's the point that the pendulum stays swinging, right? So this is all strategy to really, it's testing a lot of things. It's testing how much are we, the American people, going to allow to have happen? How quiet are we going to stay? Most of us weren't even checking for Jimmy Kimmel like that. But when you're told, okay, so your freedom of speech is in jeopardy, it's going to start with the Kimmel. It's starting in late night. And now it's going to affect you, the average American. So that's why when he, and I think we're going to play the clip or talk about when he was talking about how people who didn't agree with him were still standing up for his right to say it.
Ted Cruz, who is so far of Donald Trump's taint, even said that this sounded like some mafia type stuff. And I couldn't believe that he rose to the occasion. I guess he had free time and he wasn't in Cancun running away from a crisis in Texas. I could not believe that he was on the right side of history for the first time in his entire career. I was like, wow. Because they know the pendulum will swing. And imagine when the Democrats take back the House and the Senate and the presidency. Would you like for us to do exactly what y'all are doing to us so you could own the libs? Because it can happen. And actually right now, the left will be totally justified because the way they're gloating and doing stuff just to piss us off is crazy. You need a country that has healthy debate. And it's crazy that half this country hates the other half. Hates more than our foreign enemies. Hates. And that's what this has shown me. I'm like, y'all really have this mad over a difference of party? Mm-hmm. It is insane. Like it is insane every single day. But good for Jimmy Kimmel. I really feel like they need to. Steve Colbert needs to be back on the air as well. The way that they're doing this is just unbelievable. It's just and this was the side. The right was a side that was bitching and complaining about freedom of speech and how Twitter was just too left leaning and they're silencing our voices. So now you want to silence. No, some of what they were saying was dangerous. Mm-hmm. Storming the Capitol, hate, that kind of stuff. But anyways, I'm happy about it. Are you happy he's back?
I think it's so important that he's back. Colbert needs to be back. Anyone, and honestly, there needs to be a push for more. Like, obviously, we're doing it over here on YouTube. And I feel like there has to be more creators who are, and those creators need to be supported because we are both in positions where initially we had shows on linear television, on broadcast television. We're talking about trending topics. We're talking about politics, and we're talking about it so openly. The show that I used to be on until it was canceled last September, Daily Blast Live, I would always reference it as Facebook before 2016, when you could still have conversations and have 2 sides, 3 sides, 4 sides of an opinion, because it's really rounding out what we, the American public in totality, are experiencing in real time. And that's important. But what's more important seemingly for this administration is that people stay ill-informed. They do not want, like, think about it, the dismantling of the Department of Education, how everything's coming for the school systems. This is important because if you can keep people uneducated, you can keep them government dependent. So any platform, anyone who has the audacity to speak up on issues, even if it's not in favor of the government, is a target. That's just what it is. So I'm glad that people have seen this, that they're waking up for one reason or another, and that people actually put action behind it, because rest assured that is the only reason why Kimmel is back. And also what he said, like his opening monologue was so important because it wasn't a total cower to the system. He brought up excellent points. It was, yes, a lot of people were saying it might have been too diplomatic. I'm sure there's reasons for exactly, I'm sure, however he showed.
Didn't say anything wrong. He made a joke about how Trump sure wasn't showing he was mourning for someone that claims he was like a son. And actually, neither was the wife. I have not seen any tears yet. And that's neither here nor there. But you know what? Roll the tape. If you don't believe us, roll the tape. Speaking of tape, tape and books, I should say, Kamala Harris is finally testing her freedom of speech, and she's not holding back. Her new tell-all dives into her 107-day presidential campaign from last year, and she talks about not feeling loyalty from the Bidens, her desire for Pete Buttigieg as a running mate, and the infamous CNN interview that she says hurt her campaign. Did anything in this book surprise you? I've not read it yet. I did order my book. I got it right away. Had to support my girl. What did you think about this?
So obviously we're just getting what she's willing to give because she is on a book tour. So the point is we all need to buy the book, and I absolutely will be doing that. The Pete Buttigieg thing, that's interesting because when we were kind of speculating during the 107 days on the daytime talk show that I was on, Pete Buttigieg, of course, was at the top of that list. But that was my sentiment exactly. There is no way that we are getting a Black female presidential candidate with a gay white man. The numbers, the math was not going to ever math on that. And people were coming for her saying that it was anti or,
Oh, please. She's the most biggest ally in politics. Get out of here.
I'm like, no, it's not. This is about math. And at the end of the day, you have to do what's going to be best for your chances to become president in one of the most overtly racist countries in the world.
And she had 2 weeks. And it's sad that, I feel like Kamala Harris was deliberately kept downplayed and in the background because of Biden's declining mental health. You so see a difference from when he was debating, when he was running as a candidate, to when he became president. I was at the White House on the lawn on Juneteenth before he ended his candidacy and announced that he was, going to step back. And me and my friend Chancey were there, and I remember us leaving like, oh my God, he looked like a wax figure. Like he looked like the lights were on, but nobody was home. And I know he's had good days and bad days, but I remember leaving like we don't got it. We don't have this. Like I was dreading a debate, right? And listen, she had 107 days. She had 2 weeks to pick a running mate. I think she ran an excellent campaign. I also, once again, I will say this. I think they purposely kept her. They downplayed her as soon as Biden won the presidency, because anytime she would speak, we would probably be like, well, why isn't she president? And Biden, you know, we definitely saw, I mean, listen, everyone fades away. Okay. We all age. And I used to watch Kamala Harris in the Senate hearings all the time, and she was sharp and she was letting them have it. So I hate that for her, because it seems like, well, where were you the whole time? And people that are ignorant of how politics works and how the office of the vice president, like what it really is, you're really shaking hands, kissing babies, and like kind of just backing the president. And it's funny. We don't hear anyone saying, hey, where's JD Vance? Why hasn't he helped with any push through legislation? How does he feel about Gaza? Nobody cares. They just let him go on vacation with his Indian wife while he's mean to other people of color. And we don't hold his feet to the fire. But Kamala had to be absolutely perfect with everything. And I'm glad she's like letting it all come out now. And I hope she stays visual and out there and in our faces, because she got a lot of criticism for disappearing after the election, which I don't blame her. She's probably sick and tired of everybody. Like, she probably had her heart broken. Like, look, I'm taking a break.
Well, she talked about the grief, that she hadn't experienced grief like that since her mother passed. And I mean, just to have the weight of the world. Now, we completely understand exactly the reason why we as women of color have to be 10 times faster, 10 times smarter, 10 times this, 10 times that, even in order to get equality. And you're still not afforded that. So this is at the highest levels, which is the reason why we were rooting relentlessly, because we understood that we had to be 10 times more supportive because of her position.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it's great to see her. Like, I cannot imagine having that type of weight, the literal weight of the world. And a lot of her grief was rooted in, she knew what was coming if she didn't get this win. And it's interesting that you bring up the difference between the administrations, because yeah, we're constantly talking about how the current president can't keep it together, can't say basic things, can't like, it's
acetaminophen.
I mean, and I did just buy Tylenol for that reason. I generally am just like, whatever, but I was like, oh no, I'm gonna get this particular.
Do you see how he's coming at Tylenol? And there's always a reason. There's always a grip behind it. So the substitute that they're pushing is something that is produced by Dr. Oz's company, iHerb. And that's what that's why he's coming for Tylenol. It's always a grift, you guys. And honestly, I feel bad for Kamala Harris. We're going to move on, because I feel like she won the election, and there's enough evidence out there that we should have had a recount. There's plenty of states that have conducted their own studies and investigations that show extreme voter irregularities, things that are not natural, things that are not normal. So imagine you feel like you had all the momentum at your back. This guy has a assassination attempts when the ear heals overnight. A 79-year-old man whose ear heals overnight. Okay, sure. And all of a sudden, Elon and him brag about rigging the election, and then he wins. This man has admitted to rigging the election. So she probably felt like, as a Black woman and Indian woman, right? I'm so sick and tired of fighting against the odds and overcoming. We shall over every single day for my entire life. We can both attest to it. It's friggin' exhausting. And at some point, she's allowed, people can feel away. Oh, where's she been? Where's she been? She tired, y'all, and she deserves it. She's been fighting hard for a very long time. And remember, Black women have to fight twice as hard for half the pay and half the glory.
Yeah, that's the story. That's always been the story.
Speaking of underachievers and people that don't have to work hard, a group of white men calling themselves Fearless Debates went into an HBCU wearing MAGA hats and carrying signs that read, DEI should be illegal. They reportedly weren't affiliated with the school and didn't have approval to be on campus, so they were removed. What was the goal here, Erica?
Clout and a attempt at oppression. I really, and here's the thing. I don't even know, when I first saw this, I was like, I almost was like, I wish that there wasn't a response, because that's what they're looking for. They're looking for a response, hopefully a volatile one, so that they can turn and point the finger that, oh, well, they're the problem in terms of the students at the HBCU. And HBCUs have been targeted over and over again. Why were there threats made after the killing of Charlie Kirk? HBCUs, Black people had nothing to do with that.
The call is coming from inside y'all's house.
Because they're looking for it. All of this, and this has been my sentiment all along. There is a call, there is a desire, there is an attempt to create a civil war. There are people who want a race war. They want the dissension between the two, between groups of people. They want it to become volatile. They want to, they're looking for just a reason. That's the reason why the response has to be more strategic, because the way that most of these people are operating, setting up your table from Walmart in the middle of just a random HBCU that you picked for what reason, in order to bring attention to you, what are you trying to do? They're trying to evoke a response and violence. So I'm very proud that it did not get to that place, because honestly, what I really want to say to our young men and women, it's not that in itself isn't even worth it. This particular, a response to this action isn't even worth it. You're there to get an education. You are there in order to become the future leaders of our planet. Focus on that, because the only way that people win, or the only way that you're going to win, is being better. They're not in school bettering themselves. They're not doing any of this stuff. That's the reason, like, they're trying to pull you off your square. Don't allow them to take you off your square.
Racist white people, I have another message for you. Charlie Kirk, we had nothing to do with it. We actually have had nothing to do with any of the failures that are happening right now. It's all you, because you removed Black people from everything. We're not in government anymore. We're not in position of power. We're not in, we don't have our contracts anymore. We're nowhere. We're in private businesses. We are minding our own business. So the failures that are happening, the embarrassment that is America, it's all on y'all right now. It's the Republican Party, white people. This is all you on the Republican side. This is all y'all. We have nothing to do with it. You're mad that one of y'all killed another one of y'all? We ain't in this. We minding our business, staying moisturized. I suggest you try to do the same. And Black folks in college, I commend you. You behaved exactly how you're supposed to. You kindly walk them off your campus and get them the hell up out of there. I need racist white MAGA folks that want smoke. Don't go to college campuses. If you're really about that life, I need you to go to South Side of Chicago. I need you to go to Detroit. I need you to go to the South and the East Side of Providence, Rhode Island. I need you to go to Slauson and Western in LA. I need you to go to Oakland. I need you to go to Arkansas. I need you to go to Little Rock. I need you to go to gang territory. I need you to go where the YNs are. And then I want you, because you're the white racist people, they're the white equivalent of YNs, right? The gangbangers that are out there. Go against them. They have nothing to lose. Leave the people in college alone that are just, they're not about that life right now, right? Go there and let's see how brave you really are. You wouldn't do that. You're going to intimidate people, and you have these people against the ropes. We know that we get judged more harshly. If you see a Black kid in school that's just trying to get his education, gets to a fight, that's grounds to get kicked out. You're trying to tempt them with that, right? And evoke, like you said, some emotion, some hostility. And let's talk about all these hangings that are popping up, these lynchings across America that are before any investigation. Oh, it's no foul play. It's a suicide. Knock it off. You're trying real hard, but I'm really proud of how Black America is peeping the game, clocking it for what it is, and yeah, okay. And that's why y'all mad. Y'all want us to be so mad. I don't know why y'all want a race war. Why do you want a race war? I feel like these people are obsessed with us. Obsessed. Always worrying about what we're doing over here. You worry about how we're talking, what our music looking like, what we sound like, what we doing, What we doing on our campuses? Worry about yourselves. Get yourselves together because y'all looking real crazy around these streets. And us white on white crime has got to stop. I am seeing, white men are 28% of the population committing 60% of the violent crimes? Yes, we flipping them tables. Y'all want to talk about black people being 13% and blah, blah, blah. Yo, 28% committing. A post came out the other day with molestation. Y'all own that. It's like 70%. So bad that the White House has removed a study that shows the biggest hate group, the violent group right now, white right-wing groups right now. Y'all, this white on white crime, I am concerned about y'all's community. Are these from single mom homes? Like, what's wrong with these moms, these white moms that are raising all these school shooters and child molesters? I'm concerned.
I mean, listen, everything that you're saying, these are facts, right? I do want to bring this to the attention of the class, because this is where I get completely floored. Callie says, y'all need to just stop with the black versus white talk. No matter what you believe, it has to stop. Okay. Here's the thing. Ignorance is bliss for a very specific reason. Mm-hmm. If you can be ignorant, you don't have to care about anything. And what people are really depending on are for people who have platforms, who have point of views, who are able to engage with others to get people to think outside of what is being fed to them. And we're the ones who are attacked for it. Like, for 7 years, I sat on a platform every single day, Monday through Friday, for 7 years. And all I was doing was talking about the trending topics, much like we're doing right now, and bringing my experience as a Black woman in America to the conversation. Why? Because I don't know how old a lot of you are, but in my memory of media in general, there were so few of us to bring our experiences to the table that we were never a part of the conversation.
Yeah.
Now we have creators, journalists who are actively engaging in this way because we understand that silence is actually violence. So before you go to attack someone who is starting a conversation, an important conversation, and weighing in for the benefit of their particular side of the neighborhood and not promoting violence, just talking about a response, the best way that we can protect one another, the best way that we can move forward as a community. I don't want dissension between groups of people. And Claudia just said, why would anybody want a war? Why would you want a civil war? Why would you want a race war? It's acknowledging that there are people out there who 100% are putting all of their eggs in that basket. So to not talk about it is just not an option.
And might I add, before we move on, y'all lost the first time. Y'all lost the first time when we didn't have any rights. Y'all lost when we didn't have any weapons. We didn't have that same confidence. We were like, okay, like, y'all lost when we were more religious, less violent. Y'all lost. Y'all lost the last civil war and race war. You did not win. So we're stronger now. So do you really want to lose or take another L and look stupid again in the history books that you're trying to burn? Y'all lost. You celebrate a losing flag. When your team loses the Super Bowl, the clothes the merch you printed up goes to hurricane survivors and people that have survived natural disasters around the world. You don't proudly fly that flag. Y'all flying the Confederate flag, the flag of a loser. The Nazis as well. The losing flag. Y'all are a bunch of losers. Get on the winning team, knock it off, make friends with your Black and brown neighbors. We're all human, of the human race. Cut this goofy shit because you were a failure in high school. You didn't amount to anything. So you want to feel part of a group. You want to feel like you belong and you're part of a something and winning. So you find this group of other non-getting ass friends, mediocre men that have nothing really going on. And this gives you a sense of identity. We've all seen this in the movie. Was it Poetic Justice? Remy? Not Poetic Justice. I'm sorry. The other one. With Tyra Banks when Remy, Michael Rappaport, when we turned his skinhead.
Oh Lord.
I
Jungle
know.
Fever.
No, you way off, girl. It was not Jungle Fever.
Oh,
remember Remy? He felt like he was the white boy. He felt like an outsider, so he shaved his head. Y'all know the name of the movie? I know we got to move on.
Higher
Learning. Oh my God. Chat, help us up. Okay, we got to move on. But anyways, it gives them a sense of higher learning. Thank you, not 223. Oh my God, we're having brain farts. Okay.
Higher learning, yes.
You're listening to Accidentally Informed. I'm Claudia Jordan with my co-host Erica Cobb. Now let's get back to our next story. Diddy is back in the news as his sentencing gets closer. His mom sent a letter to the judge detailing traumatic experiences, including the deaths of his father at 2 and his uncle at 9. Meanwhile, his legal team is reportedly confident that a Trump pardon could save the day. What do you think about his mama's letter?
Well, I mean, of course, first of all, she's his mother. So, I mean, that's what a mother's gonna do. Unless, she also benefits from his success and has for quite some time. So I'm not surprised about this. I do think it gets more tenuous when you have people who are also high profiles, people who didn't push you out. And you're in a situation where you're being asked to write these letters. And these are very common. I remember Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher did this for Danny, that 70s show, Danny Masterson. And they kind of did it under the radar. And then people, dug into the case and they got really quiet because the next conversation that you have to have as an independent party is with people who might be fans of yours or might be in your life who are saying, are you condoning their behavior?
Yeah.
And when you have something as egregious as what Diddy, stood trial for, I expect that from the mother. I really do. I mean, in this circumstance, I expect it.
Plus, she saw a lot of stuff that was happening and didn't really offer any pushback from what we all know. So, of course, I'm going to say this. I'm tired of this excuse. And color me harsh, color me not sympathetic to this. Such and such behaves like this because they have trauma. Their father died at 8 or at 2, or we got a divorce and they're traumatized. Every person in the world has trauma. Does that make us be rapists and pedophiles and beat women and hold people over the balcony? Does that give us license? I'm so sick and tired of, listen, Erica, some of my stories, the tip of the iceberg. I have so many traumatic stories that I should hate men and not trust women in my circle at all. Okay? And be afraid all the time. People showing up my house with weapons, all kind of stuff, being beat up, concussions, thrown through glass tables. The list goes on and on and on. And I do not use that as an excuse to mistreat people. I may have difficulty with bonding or saying I love you, but I don't outwardly abuse people because I had trauma when I was 2. And I'm so sick and tired. There comes a point when you're a child and you behave in a certain way because you've been abused or whatever. I get that. But there comes a time in our lives where we have self-awareness and we have a choice. Okay, I know I have these things, so I probably should go get some therapy, or my life will continue to be a mess. And at 50-something years old, I'm sorry, that excuse is not going to cut it, Janice. It's just not. I don't want to hear it.
Well, and also it's difficult for people to really empathize with. You're talking about the trauma of someone whose net worth at a certain point was $1 billion. That means you have every resource in the world to get the help that you need. I can see a lot of people do not have the resources to get very extensive help that they need. It's almost like it almost makes it worse because there's absolutely nothing that was out of the possibility of him benefiting from. But he chose to use people as collateral, use people as commodity and victimize people.
Mm-hmm.
So there's really no trauma that is ever going to substantiate the level of damage that you've done to people.
And then one would say, when you are hurt by other people, I think another way to react is you're actually more sympathetic towards hurting others because you know what it feels like. You know, my brother, you know, said my father wasn't around as much as he'd like him to be. So guess what? He became a super dad. You know what I mean? Like that's another way of handling trauma. You know what I'm saying? So, okay, well, let's move on because I'm so sick of Diddy. I really am. And everybody just capping. And now when he comes out, they're going to be back on his ass and go. And it's just like he may have not gotten convicted of all the charges that we, thought. But let's not act like this man was innocent or some kind of angel because he was not. There were a lot of things he got away with that he didn't get charged with. And this we know for facts because you have one witness right here. Okay. All right. I do think Trump will pardon him because he pardons all scumbags and offenders, sex offenders and abusers. That seems to be actually a one-way ticket into his cabinet. Oh,
well, it's also going to be very timely leveraged because you can see all of the sequence of events that have happened since people have demanded on both sides that the Epstein files be released. Because guess what we're not talking about?
Yeah, I'm going to get back to talking about it every single day. Release the files. Well, we now have the votes in the House with the special election that just happened. And the seat that's got one in Arizona. We have 218 people committed to sign the letter to force a vote. So we will see what happens. Cardi B has a lot on her plate right now. Her new album went platinum the day it dropped. Her divorce from Offset is still dragging on. And her soon-to-be baby daddy is caught up in a heated paternity dispute. But here's what Cardi had to say about it.
Hello, Barbara. This is Shirley. Yeah, busy. Hi. Yeah, that's your baby daddy. That's my baby daddy too, girl. Well, what now? I don't fucking know. We'll figure it out.
All right, what do you think of all this personal drama? And do you think she's setting herself up for heartbreak again?
I don't know. That's the thing about life. Like obviously you want things to be a certain way. If you're a woman who's pregnant with someone's baby, that's such a vulnerable time. You want someone who's going to be able to be there with you and have his attention and someone who's going to be able to take care of you. And that's hard when you have one person who has multiple children coming at the same time. That being said, this woman is a woman of success and means. And I know that people say, it's not about that. It's about the time. You can only be blah, 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 all this stuff. Listen, she is pregnant. She is vulnerable as a pregnant woman. I am not going to woulda, coulda, shoulda the situation. What are you saying that she should have gotten or terminated the pregnancy? I don't understand what the alternative is at that point. Now, it's a precarious situation to be in. But one thing Cardi's going to do is handle it with some levity. And so I don't know how she's feeling. I'm sending her positive energy because this is a time where that's so necessary more than ever. But at the end of the day, Cardi's she's going to see her way through. So I'm sending her love on her pregnancy and for the delivery because that's what we really should be sending. All of that extra energy. And the rest of it, it's not ideal, but it is what it is.
I think that this was planned. I think that I saw Cardi say in an interview, we were just having too much fun and this is what happens. And, she decided to, keep her pregnancy and have a baby. Of course, we wish, as fans, which is really none of our business. We're fans. We wish that she would just have had fun for a little while and just be single for a little while, or not be single, have a boyfriend, but not just go right into motherhood. We were long anticipating this album. But guess what, y'all? It is not our life and it is not our business. Of course, if that was my little sister, I'd be like, girl, you crazy? But she's not. She's someone that I enjoy watching her personality. She's entertaining and listening to her music. Stefan Diggs is busy. He out in these streets. Okay, he's a good looking guy. He's got bread and he has a lot of beautiful women that are all pregnant at the same time. And I hate that for Cardi, but she does seem very happy. I hope that lasts for a while, but it's probably going to be some drama down the line. But who knows? Like you said, it is life. I mean, he might surprise us and do a 180 and say, you know, I'm locking this down. I don't want to be out here no more. Cardi's the one. Who knows? But guess what? We do know. Her body, her choice. And this is what she chooses to do. Listen, Cardi B has never let work get in the way of being a good mother. She's been actually able to balance it all. So much so that it's been 7 years since her first album, but she's dropped many hits, many singles. She's done her thing. And I think she'll be fine. I think she has a good attitude about it. She's not hostile towards the other women. She's like, hey, it is what it is. We both have the same baby daddy and we got to figure it out. And, you know, I think she'll make the best of the situation. So
yeah. I do want to bring this up because I think Ari Girl makes a great point, and I don't want to dismiss the point, although I was, you know, playing more. So she's okay. Ari Girl says, I'm playing devil's advocate. Why do people always think you can throw money throw money to make this better? I love Cardi, just worried about her mental. Ari, I think that's a really great point. I don't want to dismiss that point. What I'm saying is, and it's not about that just because she has the money to do it. I do think ideally you want a situation where you're able to spend the time and both parents are able to do that. But we do know that families are created in all different kinds of ways. If she were my little sister, I would be having a different conversation with her. But again, like what you just said, she's not my little sister. And the thing about it is that does show exactly what is happening in this digital media world, because Cardi became Cardi because she has always spoken directly to her fans. Her accessibility has been through the roof compared to celebrities that were, you know, Cardi B standard or status 10, 15, certainly 20 years ago. So I think that's where people get it twisted. She's not the first person who has gotten pregnant and learned that the father of her child or the father of her future child also has another baby on the way or just had a baby or something like that. She's not the first person.
And she's got a big support team. As Teray M says, she has a true support team. Her family rides for her. She did things the right way with Offset. She got married. She had her baby. She was a good mom, a faithful mother, a wife. And he still went out there and got in those streets. So people over here like, oh, she should have waited. She did it the right way. Didn't work out. If she's happy, I'm happy. If she likes it, I love it. Oh, congratulations to Rihanna on her new baby girl as well. She is these ladies are putting motherhood before career. They're still getting stuff done, but they're not letting career put motherhood in the back seat for them. Like a lot of it, like I know I'm guilty of that, you know, and you probably was right. We put career first, and
definitely
felt like we had to.
Well, I definitely did. And now my biggest thing to young women in general is if you are wanting to put your career first, there are so many options, but you have to be proactive about those options just to mitigate what could be substantial costs. I've been very open about my fertility journey. We are still very much on the fertility journey, and my options are costly. So what I'm saying to everyone who is thinking like, maybe this is something for me in the future, just make sure that you know your status in terms of what your fertility situation is and know all of your options at this stage in your life, because it's no longer a sentence to, you know, you won't ever become a mom if you want to become a mom 10 years, 15 years down the road. It just looks different for you. And if you know that earlier, then the options are much greater and they're less costly. So just know that.
That's right. All right, y'all. Deion Sanders, did he secretly marry Karrueche? That's what Summer's saying after he was spotted she was spotted with a diamond ring in her left hand. Insiders say they got married in a small private ceremony at his Colorado home. Erica, what say you?
Congratulations. What say you, Claudia?
Listen, I'm tired of being the official spokesperson.
I know you.
Like, I've said enough already. I don't want to answer any more questions about this relationship. Well, I won't say anything else about my friend. How about that? I don't know. I don't know what this is about. I don't. Karrueche, are you sure? Like, that's a lot. Deion, she's young. You're hey, once again, you know what I'm gonna say? Like the Cardi B situation. If y'all like it, I love it. If you're happy, then do what makes you happy and love each other loudly and proudly. Like, why does it have to be a secret? You know, if you love this woman and that's your wife, celebrate it. Celebrate your love. Deion, we know you're not a quiet person or a humble or a modest person. You like to must be the money, make music videos and wear furs with just baby oil on and some shorts. Like you would that guy in the 80s and 90s. Like, you know, you live your life out loud. So I feel like, you know, at this age, you and I are kind of in the same boat. We're in the fourth quarter or the beginning of the third quarter. I'm sorry, the end of the third quarter, beginning of the fourth. Stop worrying about what people think on the internet. Do you? If you love that woman, go ahead and celebrate her.
But here's the thing, I'll liken the two stories between Karrueche and Cardi. If this, obviously Cardi has confirmed that she's pregnant. Mm-hmm. Karrueche, if this is true that they did get married, that really sucks to have something that should be as joyous and not tainted by all of these other, you know, exterior factors. It sucks to not be able to like be happy out loud. And so for anybody, like we are beholden to our choices. And I think it's really important that things may not look the way that everybody else wants them to look. But if it's your life and you're not hurting anyone else, it should always feel the best to you. And you got to take that with and just encompass that with your entire chest. Because I think a lot of people end up in situations that, I mean, it could just be like your family or your community, and you have something that is the joy of your life and you aren't allowed to openly celebrate it. And I think that sucks. I think that you have to just get over the idea that people aren't going to be happy for you and channel that energy. That's energy as well. I've been talking about energy all the time because it's so prominent right now. Like just what's happening in the world, there's so much energy coming at you that you have to learn to decipher how to accept the good and use the bad in order to turn that around in a way that feels good for you.
Well, speaking of feeling good for us, I want to inform the informers that coming up in October and the 15th, we are going to do our first live show in Denver. So you can come meet us and greet us and take pictures with us. You can get tickets by visiting comebacktv.com and clicking on the banner at the top. It's going to be a great night with music, wine, dessert, lots of unfiltered takes. And let me tell you, drunk Erica Cobb and drunk Claudia Jordan live in that altitude, it's going to be a whole time. So get your tickets now. I want to see you all there. We're going to have a good time.
Yes, we'll have so much fun. And we have merch, informers. So that's going to be the first time that you're seeing the merch. So I'm excited because I'm excited to walk around with my accidentally informed sweater.
It's cute too. And real quick, I'll be in DC this weekend, a Friday. I'll be speaking on a panel, hip hop and politics and the resistance with Representative Andre Carson of Indianapolis. Of Indiana, and at the Black Caucus weekend. So I'll be down there rubbing elbows with my political folks, and maybe I'll get some interviews. Well, you never know.
Ooh, yes, would love that. Would love that. All right, girlfriend. Well, I am sending you so much love. I know you've been so busy, and you continue to stay busy. So I'll see you. I'll talk to you later, but we will see y'all next week.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Put it on, girl. Let me see it. Put it on, girl. Let me see it.